I was wrong about weight loss after 40, and here's what changed my mind. And stick around to the end because I'm going to share the number one thing I learned and what I'm counseling my patients on now. And it's changed the game for all of us. So, hi, my name is Christine Jennings. I'm a nurse midwife, a mom of twins, and I've spent 21 plus years taking care of women through every stage of their life. And now I'm passionate about helping women over 40 understand what's happening in their bodies so they can feel like themselves again. I was 45. I lost 29 pounds. How did I do that? Severe calorie restriction, working out like crazy 5 to 6 days a week, counting my macros, doing all the things. And I lost 29 pounds. But here's the deal. I still was 10 pounds away from my goal weight, and I couldn't do anything to lose that 10 pounds. And then when I went back to eating a sustainable everyday life, eating normal and still eating clean, but just like eating normal and not killing myself for 5, 6 days a week, but still working out, still strength training, still doing some cardio, still getting my steps in, still doing all the things. And I still couldn't lose the 10 pounds. Like, does this sound familiar? Does it sound like anything that's happening? Because I'm sure you can relate to all of this, and maybe you're struggling with the same things. I've put together a free guide on hormones, metabolism, and how I navigated all of this. Comment guide below or head over to the link in my bio. You can grab that free guide. Once I went back to all the normal things, over the year and a half, I gained 18 pounds. Now fast forward, I'm 47 and things just aren't working, and I feel fluffy and I feel tired and I feel exhausted, and maybe that's you too. And this is what I learned. It's not about eat less and move more, but that's what I had been telling my patients for years. That's what I thought worked, because in your 20s, that's what works. In your 40s, not so much, because I was doing everything I knew to do. I was counting my macros, I was strength training, I was eating clean, and yet the scale was only continuing to go up. And it's frustrating. Like, as a woman, when you're doing all the things and your hard work isn't paying off, it's incredibly frustrating. So instead of asking, how can I work harder? I asked myself, okay, what's changed inside my body? And that changed the game for everything. What I discovered is in perimenopause, it's all about the hormones. It's not that we're doing things wrong, it's that we have the hormones working against us. When the hormones are fluctuating, our sleep is affected, we have more insulin resistance, and that is a domino effect for everything. And stress affects the body differently. We naturally lose muscle if we aren't maintaining it. And again, insulin resistance becomes a much bigger piece of the puzzle, especially as we get into perimenopause and then into menopause. Now, this doesn't mean that calories don't matter. Let me be clear on that. It simply means that's just one piece of the puzzle. When we ignore the rest of the puzzle, that's the much bigger problem. And that's one of the hardest parts of my job, is that people think they failed. People think they're lazy. People are giving up. Women are just frustrated and over it. But it's not that we've changed. It's our bodies that have changed. And that's what we have to figure out and we have to adapt to. So at 47, I decided to take a different approach. After a lot of research, a lot of consultation, I decided to start a GLP-1 GIP. But here's the thing, I was still doing the strength training. I was still eating clean, but I wasn't eating 1,200 calories a day. I wasn't killing myself for 45 minutes, 6 days a week. No one wants to live that way. It's all about creating a sustainable plan that's going to work for your everyday life. I prioritize protein. I started looking at improving my overall metabolic health. In over 7 months, I lost 28 pounds. I got down to 18% body fat, which is the leanest I've ever been. And I'm not saying that 18% body fat is the goal, but that was a big thing for me. And at the end of the day, every woman is different, and everybody makes progress in their own way. I'm just sharing what worked for me, and that was one measure of my progress. But the biggest lesson was realizing that I didn't need to fight it. I just needed to understand it. So today, my conversations look very different. Instead of saying, just eat less, work out more, I ask them, how's your sleep? How's your stress? Are you eating enough protein? Are you strength trained? Have we looked at your metabolic health? Have we done lab? Could hormones be affecting it? Because hormones come into play with all of this. Your estrogen, your progesterone, your testosterone, all of those things make a huge difference. So that's a very different conversation than just saying eat less, move more. If you're doing everything right, if you're moving your body, if you're strength training, if you're prioritizing your protein, if you're counting your macros, maybe it's time to look at another tool that's going to help make all that work pay off. Because you're not lazy, you're not broken, you're not imagining things, but your body has changed. And once you understand these changes and stop blaming yourself, all the puzzle pieces are going to fit together. So if you'd like my hormone and metabolism guide, just drop guide below or head to the link in my bio and you can grab it for free. And if this video encouraged you, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel as we explore more about how we can feel our best in our 40s and beyond. Because every week we're going to have honest conversations about hormones, metabolism, peptides, strength training, fitness, all the things to look and feel our best in this midlife stage that we're in. Thanks so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.